Now, before we start the video, I would like to say, just a little reminder, I just got off from the flu and I'm suffering from a sinus infection, so if I tend to cough or sniffle, I'm kind of sick at the moment. But I really want to do this video because I want to do it for fun, so without further ado, let's get started. Hello everyone, I am Cozy Season, also known as Saber Raymond, and today we're going to be talking about the Goanimate community. A lot of shit has happened to me personally and throughout my channel. I was getting porn bombed, not to mention that some people were saying the N-word with a hard R, even though they're obviously white, and some people were starting to raid me, but overall, I've been doing pretty okay besides, that happening. So, moving on. We're going to be talking about the Goanimate community, but instead of talking about very problematic users and just cringing at them, I'm going to be going to depth with the community. Now, I used to have a lot of experience towards the Goanimate community way back then when I was young, but the problem is I never had to Goanimate software, and I was poor at the time, so I just usually use my toys in order to make grounded videos, and let's just say that those videos are very poor, and I should not have a YouTube channel when I was very young.
Whoa, Golden Shores, how dare you, just grounded Mario.
There's a huge difference between my content versus now, and you can really tell by the difference, and this was on, like, my separate channel, by the way, and I didn't even have a concept of what other social medias mean when promoting them, because I thought I was an influencer back then. And there was a huge difference between me and now, because back then I didn't really have a platform until I decided to become a Blueberry Sans fangirl, and that's how everyone literally recognizes me right now. Besides that, I'm going way too off topic. Yeah, today we're going to be looking at the huge death of the Goanimate community from an experience of a person who actually was somewhat involved in it. First, I'm going to start with the info cards before I get started. If I tend to have a speech impediment, or if I pronounce words differently, or if not, I don't make any sense grammatically, it's because I have a speech impediment, aka I literally have fucking autism. And yes, I do have speech therapy. And me having a sinus infection right now and being kind of sick makes it kind of worse when I'm trying to do these videos. So if that's the experience you're getting, then that's why, and I apologize. And I know the warning seems a little unnecessary, but some people tend to kind of misunderstood me sometimes, and I had to explain it in the comments in order to kind of make sense of what I am trying to say. So that's why I'm putting up this a little bit of a warning here and an explanation. Moving on to the disclaimer, please do not go harass, dox, witch hunt, or threaten anyone in my video. This is for commentary and criticism purposes only, especially to the Goanimators that I'm going to be mentioning in the video. And warning, this contains mentions of child pornography, age gaps, child abuse, pedophilia, and other sensitive topics. If you are sensitive to these topics, I suggest you clicking off the video if you're sensitive to these topics. I might be editing more if I've seen any other sensitive, mentionings throughout the video. So I may edit the warning here. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started with this commentary. Yeah, baby!
Did you know if you eat a human brain, you'll get a disease similar to mad cow?
If you're living under a rock or never heard of Goanimate because you're in a new generation, I'll explain what it is. If you already know what it is, I'm just gonna basically explain what Goanimate is, so if you want, you could skip this segment by skipping at this timestamp, but if you want to stay around, I will explain it. Goanimate first started back in June 2011, although it came late in August, and there was a first video of Goanimate used by Goanimate schools in November 1st. I don't know when it was the first grounded video that started all of this. Some people were saying African Vulture first started it, but however, the Goanimate Pedia says otherwise. Ever since then, they've formed a grounding community, which basically consists of Caillou mainly, but there's other supposed baby shows and OCs, such as the Caillou Show, Dora the Explorer, Thomas the Tank Engine, Little Bill, My Little Pony, Sonic fucking even. They also make characters from themselves, so that way they can use them to get them grounded, such as the most popular, Clyde, Stephanie. The least popular one is also Brooke. Childish Dad, the one that has recently gained popular. And Viley. Why did they make a white person wear dreads? Isn't that considered cultural appropriation? Because what the fuck is this crackery nonsense? There is a lot of stuff on Goanimate. Almost everything you can think of is literally made out in Goanimate. It's literally the definition of Rule 34. There's also other content besides grounding videos, but I'm going to be explaining it in a few seconds. So that's my take of my introduction of Goanimate. If this is not really correct, then I apologize, because not only I known it for so long and I forgot most, but also I got out of the grounding community for a little bit, so it's been a while checking back into them recently. But yeah, besides the point, moving on to the next topic.
Did you know many cultures consume blood for food, and that includes humans?
Not only do they make grounding videos, but they also contain other videos such as OS videos, rant videos, supposed good night videos, because I never heard of them actually, killing videos, even trolling videos, certain types of trends in the Goanimate community when, you know, they make grounding videos out of, sex videos for some odd fucking reason, punishment days, rants on Goanimate YouTubers or bad user videos, and my favorite, shit posts.
One knows what the nose knows. What the nose knows. No one knows. To be able to know.
It has a list of everything. And there even is some good videos that aren't about grounding, and there's actually movies about it, which I consider them good. I mean, hell, Goanimate is kind of fun. I even made almost a series out of them before I decided to quit.
To be honest, there's this one guy. He has long brown hair and has plus sized, and has really cute and attractive.
Rabanda, are you crazy? He's so off-looking and looks like a psychopath.
Now, even though Goanimate kind of has a shit community, it's actually really fun when you do Goanimate videos from my experience. I mean, even when I got a Rapper offline software in my computer, it was actually pretty fun when making those videos. However, I don't really like the community, considering the fact it's very repetitive. And toxic too, and I'll get into that in a little bit. Even though the community itself kind of looks, I guess, normal in a way, there's actually some fetishizing videos that actually came out to the platform, such as like war or fat fetishism. And the weird thing is that they mainly involve minors into those situations. But yeah, that's like a full-on over-review or a review of the segment. So that way you guys are reminded of that. So let's get the somewhat tame things out of the way, and let's go straight into the rabbit hole.
Indeed. And if you win, you get more candy.
Like any other community or fandom, it always has the very bad toxicity side, and Goanimate is one of them. I'll start off with the basics before I get any severe. They have been known to send death threats and basically get very hypocritical. When people have different opinions based on their interests or a person, they get very upset and either blocks them or supposedly send grounding threats, which are kind of fucking funny because it's like, you can't really ground people over the internet. They also tend to be very sensitive as well, which is very common. Like example, Cyanimate. He tends to steal other people's ideas and basically lashes at people over Not to mention he doesn't even accept criticism. And even one time he basically harassed someone. And I know the thing with the internet now lately is to basically not get criticism if they don't need it, otherwise it's considered disrespectful. But come on, man, it happens all the time. Like, you don't expect people to be an asshole just because they give you constructive criticism. Other than that, they're just really immature and childish, and it's really common. Again, another thing is that they make sex videos based on the supposed good or bad users out of spite, which is very fucking disgusting. And it's literally sexual harassment. Like, I can understand you being childish and immature if you don't accept criticism, but don't fucking sexually harass people over the internet. Like, good God. Especially if they are a fucking child. It's fucking nasty, dude. And if they ran out of insults, they decided to use the N-word and multiple slurs about that too. And when they get called out for it, they try to justify it in multiple ways with a shitty apology video. At this point, the Goanimate community is more toxic than the fucking Chernobyl incident. Because whenever someone doesn't like criticism, they have a fucking nuclear meltdown. And speaking of slurs, by the way, it's kind of weird how when they make grounded videos based on, like, you know, Boris the Teeth Guy, or if not, like the UTTP community and the Goanimate community, for some reason they like to say the N-word.
Let's think of more shit starting with the letter N. Well, no one gives a fuck about anything else.
It's actually mainly common towards like videos about Boris the Teeth Guy, which is basically kind of like an OC like, if Boris was extremely racist and used a lot of slurs. Which is like, why would you make a character just to excuse yourself to make slurs? And most of the people who make those fucking videos are white. So pretty much the Goanimate community is kind of racist, and if it doesn't explain the rest, then I don't know what to tell you. It's just kind of weird how they normalized crackers wearing dreads and made a whole character just to basically say slurs without getting any trouble. It's just fucking weird. Not to mention they literally make rape videos out of each other out of spite, which is also fucking weird. And if it doesn't explain that it's very toxic, then I don't know what to tell you than other watch CM Animations video, because it's actually really good. Other than that, that's my take of the whole community and why it's very toxic. Other than that, let's move on to the next segment. Now, I was about to make a segment where I go through very problematic Goanimate users, but then again, I almost addressed all of them, so what's the point? But then I realized, wait, I can actually address the problematic parts in the community. Because besides the Boris the Teeth Guy character, there's actually way more problematic parts at the end of it. I'll start with the huge age gaps when it comes to ships, because I'm pretty sure that's, I wouldn't say tame, but I guess a start. Caillou x Dora is very common towards the community because at first they didn't really start it off as a ship or a romantic relationship, and they started off as like a partners in crime duo. But lately it started to become a ship or a romantic relationship between them. Now you might be thinking, oh, this is like a kid's ship. It isn't really that bad. They must be around the same age gap. Wrong. In the Caillou Wikipedia, it says that he is 4 years old. While with the Dora Wikipedia, technically she's 7 to 10 years old. However, the huge difference is that Caillou wasn't able to grow up throughout the canonic show. Well, with the Dora show, she was able to grow up at the age of 16 throughout Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I don't know, Goanimate community, shipping a 4-year-old with, I guess, a 16-year-old is kind of fucking weird, because the age gap shows. Like, it really shows. And I know it's not really considered weird, it's because they're considered both children, but then again, it's a really huge age gap, especially since she grew up canonically while Caillou still remained the same age. It may sound like an insult, but it's weird to me. I don't know why, but just saying. There's also another ship between an OC and Caillou, and I might have figured, well, since it's an OC created by a person, they should be aware of Caillou's age and made the age gap appropriate, right? Oh, no, what the fuck?
Get the fuck off my porch! Get your ass off this motherfucking porch!
Goanimate, this reputation does not look good on you. What the fuck? I'm trying to find more examples of this, but then again, those are the only ships that I could find. But moving on to the next topic, ableism. Now, I do admit some of them are very good based on educated topic on why ableism is very wrong. However, there are some videos that do it absolutely poor just for the trend of grounding. Someone that I'm a very good friend of, Captain Sweatertail, made a now unlisted video reacting to a video about Pink Fox getting grounded because apparently it was being ableist towards Ruby. And let's just say the video is not really good.
Calling me a hard of hearing girl. Go home right now while I call Blythe.
Actually, I think you're the one that's grounded. Unfortunately for you, you are so hard of hearing that you can't even hear too well. You hard of hearing stinky capitalist pig.
I know their intention was to not glamorize or romanticize ableism and try to spread awareness about it, but then again, why would you use it in a trend of Goanimate? I don't know, it's just, in my opinion, very fucking weird. And there's like a lot of examples of them using ableism in order to get, grounding trends on the roll, which is, again, very fucking weird. Because their only source of income is literally grounding videos, so they try to make it any way in order to make money off of this. Which I think ableism shouldn't be made money off of. But yeah, besides that, now let's talk about the major problem. Child pornography. I can't even do a normal research of Goanimate sex videos without them involving minors and rape too. And the fact that they blame Caillou just because he got raped by some person is more fucking disturbing and gross. As someone who is sexually abused, this offends me. Nobody is ever at fault for being sexually abused, especially at a very young age. What the fuck is wrong with you? And the fact that you guys don't even bring this up and instead basically get very sensitive over opinions and criticism, that explains a lot about you guys. And I don't care if this is some sort of joke or laugh whatnot. Fucking child pornography and rape shouldn't be the butt of the fucking joke. Or something to make money off of, especially abuse. Child abuse. If you guys are planning on to make a fucking rant about the community, talk about this shit, because this needs to be brought up. But of course you don't want to acknowledge that, so I guess I'll leave it to you. Okay, I think I got everything out of my system with what I had to say. Let's move on to the conclusion, finally.
I will follow you until you are dead.
This was a long ride of the video. Anyways, what is my conclusion of this? Goanimate in the community itself is extremely toxic. Even though I interacted with some good people from there, I don't really think the community is all that great. It's repetitive, it's extremely toxic, not to mention they normalize pedophilia, rape, and child pornography. It's really fucking nasty. And not only that, they use ableism as income. Especially child abuse also. And again, I did interact with some good people who are in the Goanimate community, and that's mainly out of my Rainbow 107 video, but overall, the whole community is just extremely toxic. I also forgot to mention that it's very hard when doing research on people, because in the Goanimate community, when they try to, do a rant on someone or they're defending a person, they never really provide any evidence, which makes it very hard for people to believe them. Or if not, they basically make a rant video just because someone called them a poopy head or didn't really agree with their opinion. So overall, it's a whole fucking nuclear plant as the Goanimate community. It's extremely toxic. And I don't really see it getting any better, and in fact, I feel like it's dying. And again, I do believe there are some good people in that community, but that's mainly what I've interacted with. But overall, it's extremely toxic. So yeah, those were my honest thoughts about the Goanimate community. If you agree with me, or if you disagree with me, I don't really give a shit. It's really up to you. That's all I had to say. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.